Hi, I'm Kevin,
And I'm Amanda.
and we are serving up
All that jam.
All That Jam, Quick Hit. Maggie Rose on Working with Don Hart.
Can we go back to Muscle Shoals? Maybe track how Muscle Shoals ended up with the sessions for the new album, if you can connect that. And maybe we can throw in a little bit of Fish talk for our fans out there who like Fish. I hear that Don Hart somehow became involved.
Yes. Yeah. Um, so there's a big connection with the last record I made at Fame. That record is called Have a Seat. And the producer of Have a Seat is Ben Tanner, who also produced this forthcoming album of mine. And Muscle Shoals just was calling to me. I love so many albums that have come out of there. And I felt like I needed a bit of a mecca of sorts as a musician to just go there and make this record with some tremendous musicians who are from Nashville. Some of them toured with me for a while. Um, Sarah Tomek and Larry Foreman, Alex Rahal. I also had, musicians that Ben Tanner got from the Muscle Shoals area, and it was pretty badass to put that together. But Don Hart, who, if you love Fish or love music, should know this guy because he's an incredible arranger and composer, conductor. And he heard one of the tracks from Have a Seat. And I think he heard it on Lightning 100 in Nashville, which is our local independent radio station. And he reached out to me on Twitter. And my husband and I worked together, and he was looking through the mentions because he helps me with socials. And he was like, "Holy shit, Don Hart just tweeted at you." And he started showing me everything that Don Hart was involved on. And I was like, well, I need to work with him. Like, we have to, if he loves the music and this is how this organically came together, then let's collaborate with Don Hart. I have my podcast, Salute the Songbird, with Osiris Media, which is founded by RJB and Tom Marshall, who's the lyricist for Fish. So he knows Don Hart. We worked on an episode of Sugar Maple, which is the podcast they wrote together. And when I was tracking this forthcoming record, No One Gets Out Alive, Don was there for every second of tracking just so he could start getting in his head what he would want to put together for string arrangements. We even used like a 64-piece orchestra in Macedonia that we were able to use them remotely because Don is so proficient at writing notated music. And he was able to conduct this orchestra in Eastern Europe remotely. And that allowed us to find this amazing, because this was pre-Big Loud. I don't think Big Loud would go for this anyway. If I was like, I want a 64-piece orchestra in Nashville, this allowed us to do this somewhat affordably, but also it brought this drama and theater to a couple of the tracks that I really wanted. I wanted to swing for the fences. And then there was another session with Don in Nashville that we did with a smaller ensemble for the remainder of the songs. And I just wouldn't have been able to capture any of, those emotions that he evokes with the string and horn arrangements that he put together without him being with us every step of the way. He's just a legend and the nicest person you'll ever meet as well.
He is a good guy. He is a good guy. So when you went to the record label with a completely finished album. Did you remaster it, retrack it, overdubs, anything after?
No, I didn't do anything after. I think we maybe like worked on a remastering of a couple of songs, and we're doing it Atmos mixes for every song as well. So they've been able to be, uh, part of that excitement. But yeah, I mean, that's how crazy their whole engagement has been in the sequence of things. That's just not what my jaded little heart has come to expect after being in the industry for so long.
You have a stripped down band now? You got Caitlin Connor on keys, Kyle Lewis on guitar, Judd Fuller on bass, and Tim Burkhead on drums. Saw some
Yeah.
videos from earlier that the band seemed larger. Did you decide to tighten it up? Is it the same band you've played with for a while?
Yes. So the band that's with me, Caitlin and Kyle, have been playing with me for a long time. Caitlin's over 6 years at this point. What you probably saw was when Them Vibes was joining me. So Brother Love and Alex Rahal, who I mentioned from Have a Seat. I've written a bunch of songs with them too. They were touring with me for a long time. They would play a Them Vibe set, and then they would join me for my set. And Alex is a great guitar player. Larry would sing background vocals and play percussion. So it was a nice outfit to travel with for a while. But my touring band is the four that you mentioned.
Okay, cool. Now, do you feel it's important to collaborate with a larger pool of artists, or is it a matter of convenience on who I can work with, who makes themselves available?
For this record that I have coming out, I definitely kept the list of collaborators shorter than I normally would. I think that was partly just because of the subject matter being more personal. I was sort of circulating these ideas within this small group of people. Chuck Harmony and Claude Kelly are two writers that I have written over 20 songs with. And some of them I anticipate I will release in the future when those songs make sense in the context of the album. But yeah, the writing was super focused. I feel proud to say that it always has been, but I used to use more often like the collective we on previous projects because that's what the songs called for. And it was a response to like what was going on with our breakdown in communication in society. And this was more I and a little bit more, just zoomed in on things that I feel like I'm dealing with, but I know other people are as well. So I think that's why I didn't collaborate with as many people across the board. But I love working with other people.
If you are enjoying All That Jam, please like and subscribe to our social media channels at All That Jam Pod on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, or visit our website, allthatjampod.com. Make sure to sign up for our email list and tune in every week for new episodes.
Also, look for full interviews on our YouTube channel. And remember, stay beautiful, but don't stay underground too long.